Nigeria's ongoing Osun State governorship election has triggered another political controversy. This time, after social media activist Verydarkman publicly called out President Bola Tinubu over the presence of several APC governors and senators in the state. Verydarkman accused the president of allowing the All Progressive Congress to deploy a powerful political structure around the Osun election, arguing that the presence of numerous APC leaders could raise concerns about the credibility and fairness of the process.
All right, so the kind of politics President Bola Tinubu have introduced in this country, I just pray nothing happens to him. Because if President Bola Tinubu dies today, if anything happens to that man today, I swear to God, a lot of you APC members, you people will suffer. Yes, we say, oh, Tinubu is strategic, Tinubu is a king strategist, so he's a grand patron in politics, he knows politics and all. But the kind of politics he has done so far is actually to his favor, but it's very, very dangerous. And if anything happens to him, all of you, these APC people, you would suffer. Because then again, a lot of you will eat yourselves in this country. And I'm here for that, right? I mean, I'm here for that, to be very honest. Now, everything became clear in this Osun election. The kind of atrocities, the kind of illegalities, the kind of corruption that I've seen so far. People unalive, people making open threats, you know, of course, because of the template of President Bola Tinubu and the kind of leadership he has set in politics. Now, even the Osun State account was even closed down. They put it on PND, you know, and then Tinubu later said, oh, we put it on PND. Please, you people should remove it. He didn't instruct them, but they did it because they felt like that would make him happy. You see, it is dangerous. A lot of them also go ahead to commit a lot of atrocities, you know, step on people's toes. All of this because they want to please Bola Tinubu. You see, and it is very, very dangerous. Like I said, it is very, very dangerous because if anything happens to that man today, you see, especially in that Lagos. I just look all of them, they laugh, oh, President Bola Tinubu ain't get Lagos, yes. But there are people ready to take it away from him. And don't they come of that age? Everybody, both his family, a lot of them are going to suffer for it, to be very honest. Like I said, the kind of politics he has introduced. The craziest part is, even these APC people, it's not like they like themselves. They don't like themselves. Some of them are scared. They join the party because they are scared, not because they want to identify with Tinubu. Because they are scared that if they don't, then it's a problem. Some of them are actually flagging for APC, but they are sabotaging APC. Is that bad? They didn't unite because of love. APC united because of fear. You see, the politics he's doing is very dangerous. I acknowledge that he's a great politician. I acknowledge that. I call him the greatest politician of all time. I admire him. To be very honest, personally, I love him. Because I've studied him. I like him. I like Tinubu a lot. I've studied him. But there's a problem. He is dangerous. And what he's doing is going to scatter a lot of things. So my prayer for all of you is, and these APC supporters, is that you pray that nothing happens to him anytime soon. Because he don't reach the age, and God, nature does not respect anybody, doesn't care if you are the president or not. Nature is going to call you regardless. And nobody is above nature. They didn't unite because of love. Now let's go back to Osun. Like I said, what I've seen in Osun so far is very, very dirty. But then again, for the Adele case, you only made one mistake. And if it was any other person, I would say the same thing. Any governor in this country that is campaigning for a second term should actually not get a second term. Any president that is campaigning for a second term, any politician, should not contest for a second term. Because if you worked, the people are going to fight for you. I will always use Alex Oti as a reference point. I will always use him as a reference point. That man is going to come for a second term and nobody touches him. Nobody touches him. Nobody's going to go to him. Nobody. Because his people are not even going to let you do that to him. They'll tell you, oh, this is who we want. We have seen all what he has done in the first term. The reason why people say they don't want Tinubu to continue is we have not really seen what he has done. Especially with the security. We have not seen anything. Tinubu lied to us from 2023 till now. He has been lying. Oh, we'll remove subsidy, we'll use the money to do nothing. What did I say? Nothing. Insecurity, do you know how many people have died? A lot. Ultimately, I'll call him a failure. But like I said, this thing happening in Osun is not supposed to be. Yes, if you say Adeleke did not perform, no problem. But why are you sending your APC governors to go there? I saw this, my Edo brother there, Agogo. The one where they say, Edo is shining, Edo is shining. I mean, I like that guy, yeah? I like his vibe and all that. But I saw him in Osun with another guy. And the both of them, they were challenging the governor, Adeleke, that it is big belly, go jump fence. You know, they were just saying a lot of things, threatening his nephew, David. You know, Davido is supposed to sing, but he carry come here. You know, they were saying a lot of nonsense. So at the top of my head, I'm like, you left your own state. You came to another person's state to observe their politics with your principal, who is the Edo State governor, an APC member, right? You went there to observe. And next thing, you are busy threatening the governor. Next thing, you are threatening the governor. And again, this is the first time they are doing all of this nonsense. Where you see that, oh, this place they are contesting, APC is contesting, another party is contesting, they'll pack themselves, all the governors. They can use like 10 governors, they'll go there. They did it in, Ekiti. They did it in Ekiti. They packed themselves and they went there. They used their influence to bully everybody there. So even if they decide to vote, the vote will not even count. So if those people vote there now, we don't even know what's in there. Because as governors, they will use their influence. They'll come together, use their influence to bully the person out. So there's no way that will be a free and fair election. There's no way the votes will count. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, your politics style will destroy this country when you are no more. That's just the truth. It will destroy them. But well, before it destroys the entire country, it would have destroyed your people. What I'm saying is going to destroy this country is because whoever takes power of this country again, because PDP ruled for 16 years, they had the power. Nobody knew APC was going to come. Nobody knew APC would come. Then APC came. And APC have successfully, it's looking like they are going to do 16 years as well. Right? So if Tinubu leaves tomorrow, there's a high chance that another political party will now take the power. Guess what they will do? Of course, Tinubu did it. They will do worse. That time we don't go dictatorship. Because Tinubu bullies other politicians that don't want to join the APC. That's what they do. They bully you. And like that, they want to bully Adeleke now. My own problem with Adeleke is simple. Nobody. You will not be campaigning if you actually walked. That's just my own ideology. Any governor will work, no need to tell them, say, come on, no need to even do campaign poster. You don't need it. But still telling people you will do this, oh, my next 4 years, oh, come on, man. But then again, let his people decide. Let them decide that, oh, we don't want you with their vote. Instead of APC and Tinubu sponsoring governors, mandating people to go and there and bully them, fight them and all. Well, today is the election. We'll see what's gonna happen. By the top of my head, I've already calculated that they are going to just bully them. Basically bullying. That's what they are going there to do. Just to bully them. Use their power. Governors come together, bully. That's what they will do. Tinubu have instructed, oh yeah, of course, everybody is part of it, of course. The police, the military, bully. They just the one at the lake, you see policemen, they'll come protect the policemen. Bully. That's what happened there.
His message to the president was blunt. Let the people of Osun State decide their government through a free and fair election. The activist intervention came as several APC governors and senators arrived in Osun State in connection with the ongoing governorship election. For Verydarkman, however, the presence of this political heavyweight raises questions about what role they are expected to play during the election. He directly addressed President Tinubu in a video shared on Instagram, questioning why APC governors would travel from different parts of the country to observe the election. Verydarkman argued that their presence could create an atmosphere of political pressure and intimidation. He accused the APC of using what he described as a political structure capable of bullying, oppressing, and potentially influencing the electoral process. According to him, sending APC governors and senators to Osun gives the impression that the election may not be conducted on an even playing field. But his comments goes beyond the presence of political leaders. Verydarkman also raised concerns about the broader political consequences of what he described as excessive political control. He warned President Tinubu that building a political structure based heavily on what he called bullying and oppression could eventually create problems even for the president and his family. The activist's comments reflect a wider debate surrounding the role of powerful political figures during elections. Political parties routinely deploy governors, senators, lawmakers, and other senior figures to states where elections are taking place. Supporters see such deployments as normal political mobilization and election monitoring. Critics, however, argue that the presence of political heavyweights from outside the state can create pressure on local political structures and security agencies. That is the concern Verydarkman is now bringing to the center of the Osun election. He insisted that the people should be allowed to make the final decision. His message was particularly directed at President Tinubu, whom he urged to allow the Osun electorate to determine the winner without political interference. Verydarkman also made it clear that he was not necessarily campaigning for Governor Ademola Adeleke. In fact, he criticized Adeleke as well, arguing that if the governor had performed exceptionally well, he would not need to rely heavily on campaigning to convince voters. He pointed to Abia State's Governor Alex Otti as an example of the kind of political performance he believes can speak for itself. This is an important part of his argument. Verydarkman is presenting his criticism not simply as support for one candidate, but as a broader demand for what he considers a credible electoral process. His position is that regardless of which candidate voters prefer, the people should have the final say. And that brings the focus back to the central issue surrounding the Osun election, which is credibility. Elections are ultimately about trust. Voters must believe that their votes will be counted accurately, that security agencies will remain neutral, and that political parties will respect the established electoral process. When prominent political figures arrive from outside the state, perceptions can quickly become as important as reality. Even if their presence is legitimate, Voters may still question whether they are there simply to observe the process or whether they have a broader political objective. That is why Verydarkman's comments are likely to generate significant debate. The activists specifically question why APC governors would travel to Osun to observe an election involving the party's interest. He suggested that their presence could be interpreted as an attempt to project political power. But the APC and the political figures involved would have the opportunity to explain their presence and reject any suggestion that they intend to interfere with the process. The most important issue remains what happens at polling units and during the collation of results. If voters are able to cast their ballots freely, if election officials accurately record the results, and if the figures are properly transmitted through the established process, then the eventual outcome can command greater public confidence. However, if allegations of intimidation, manipulation, or interference emerge, pressure will inevitably increase on the electoral authorities to explain what happened. Verydarkman's intervention, therefore, adds another voice to an already intense political environment. His direct appeal to President Tinubu is simple but politically significant. Let the people decide. The president has enormous influence within the APC, and critics will continue to scrutinize how that influence is exercised during elections. At the same time, political parties have a legitimate right to mobilize their supporters and deploy their leaders during electoral context. The dividing line is whether political mobilization crosses into interference. That is the question that will continue to dominate the conversation as Osun voters await the outcome of the election. For now, Verydarkman has made his position unmistakable. He believes the presence of APC governors and senators from across the country raises concerns about the credibility of the election, and he wants President Tinubu to ensure that the people of Osun, rather than political power brokers, determine who governs the state. The ultimate test, however, will be the conduct of the election itself and whether the final results reflect the vote cast by Osun residents. What do you think about Verydarkman's warning to President Tinubu? Do you believe the presence of APC governors and senators in Osun is normal political mobilization, or could it create concerns about the credibility of the election? Drop your opinion in the comments. If you found this report informative, like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss our latest political updates. Thank you for watching, and watch out for our next report. I am Cassie Tony.